Hey peeps, poops, and everybody in between. Welcome to Searching in Fearless Tarot. Today's message is going to be for Pisces, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. The song that I was tuning into as I was shuffling the deck was I Found Love. I will connect the song to the video this time, I swear. I've connected all the songs in my previous videos if you guys were curious. I know I'm bad at that. Okay, let's get a prayer. Father God, Holy Spirit, thank you so much for another day not promised. Thank you for everything that you give to us. Wisdom, love, and guidance. We are nothing without you or it. Please help me to connect to the Pisces, Sagittarius, Capricorn collective. What do they need to know most at this time? Okay, so for your first three cards up to the gate, I'm getting 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles reversed. Now with the King of Pentacles reversed, this is talking a lot about keeping yourself stagnant. 5 of Pentacles is talking about greed. I keep hearing greed. And the 10 of Pentacles. To me, this speaks of someone who could possibly be going through the beginnings of a spiritual journey. They could be focusing on what the long term is going to look like for them, so like the next 10 years, but they're struggling because they're only thinking about the physical. I'm hearing mind, body, spirit in my head right now, so that could be talking about maybe connecting to the physical but not being able to connect to your heart or be able to connect spiritually or see the unseen. And that's the route that needs to be taken next if you're feeling stagnant. Also with the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, I'm feeling like there's a delay. So a lot of you could feel like stuck in the rigmarole or just doing the same thing every day. I'm hearing that Paul McCartney song, It's Just Another Day. Okay. So with the 10 of Pentacles clarified by the King of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, I feel like this is talking about thinking through things, but only thinking things through a logical way. So with the King of Swords, like, this is a very analytical energy. This is an energy where you're judging, you're just very, it's very one way or the other. There's not really a lot of heart when you're coming into thoughts of wealth or happiness. It just seems all very practical. It seems all very like, if we get this much money, we can have this kind of house and this kind of car, and this is what we're looking for. With the 5 of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the 9 of Cups, this is telling me that yes, you're going on a new adventure and you are seeking truth. You're seeking what is going to feel happy or fulfilled to you. But with the King of Pentacles reversed and the 8 of Cups and the 7 of Cups, this is talking about walking away and finding new options, finding new possibilities. For some of you, you could be keeping this to yourself. All of this dilemma that's going on in your head of like, how am I going to move forward? How are things going to be in the long run? How... And I feel like what the answer is to understand where you came from, where you've been. Also, I'm getting the message that some of you need to think about what 10 of Pentacles looked like to your parents or the people who raised you. What did that look like? And how did that influence the way that you look at your money, your revenue, your overall success? Because I feel like for some of you, you could be comparing your success to other people, or maybe some of you, your parents weren't that successful and you feel like there's maybe like a poverty mindset going on here. There could be. With the 3 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, and Judgment. Whatever you've been going through where you feel like you've had a lot of a lot of blockages or delays to get to where you need to go. Or if you've had a lot of hindrances when it comes to working with other people or finding other people, some of you could be going through lessons that point out or highlight how important teamwork is. So like maybe it could be ex-partners that you're thinking about. It could be ex-family, or not ex-family members, but it's like maybe you're thinking about the decisions that were made during a breakup, or maybe you're thinking about the decisions that were made before you cut somebody off. Because I see pentacles here, you two could have had something substantial together, like a house, a business, or some kind of legal agreement that bonded you two together. And whatever is going on that is causing blockages in that, there's judgment right now. So this is very much meant to happen, or this was meant to happen in order for you to learn how to be honest in the face of reality, is what I'm hearing. You could be thinking about what home means to you and dreaming of being independent and single. Or you could be dreaming of somebody else, looking at someone else's aspiring goals and maybe seeing them successful and wanting to be like them or wanting to be with them. With the Chariot and Strength, all of this is meant to happen, no matter how it shakes up, to help you to have a better understanding of what home means to you. I feel like for a lot of you, even just a year ago, you could have been focused on the wrong thing. You could have been focused on your job, and I don't feel like there's any foul play here. I think that it's just something that you were raised to think. You know, we got to focus on the job. We got to focus on the income. We got to have the house. We got to have this. We got to have that. Or maybe some of you were doing it because you felt like you were going to be persecuted for being vulnerable. Or maybe you were persecuted for being vulnerable earlier in a lot of your other relationships. And so it was difficult for you to open up. Or it is difficult for you to open up. You're having to take an honest look at what happened. Maybe you're thinking about the melancholy or the memories of this relationship that meant so much to you. With the Emperor, definitely some of you could have children with this person. And the Emperor is like my father card. That's somebody who is making decisions. That's somebody who is in the seat, in the throne, having to take care of everything in their life. So say you're a single woman, just because this says Emperor doesn't mean that you don't have Emperor energy that doesn't lie within you, because of the fact that you're so free. You don't rely on anybody's income, nothing like that. So Emperor is just making decisions in your life to move forward, making decisions in action. With the King of Swords, this is saying that you're looking at this realistically. You're maybe even for some of you, you're finding a different perspective of this relationship. Let's get some clarification on the Six of Cups. Okay, for those of you who aren't thinking back or are trying to suppress the memories of this past relationship, it's unfortunately going to keep happening until you choose to take a realistic look. I'm also hearing some of you need to take accountability for what happened. That's not for everybody. Okay, some of you, that's very much relevant, but to those of you who you've already taken accountability, you're taking the steps forward into the future, this is how you're looking as the King of Swords. Let's get clarification on the King of Swords. Some of you have issues with solely placing the blame on the other person. And my question to you is, if you have done that, have you taken accountability? Because if this is a long-standing relationship that you've had for a while, and there hasn't been any communication, and there are a whole bunch of assumptions and expectations going on in your head, this is the time to sort them out, figure it out, get into the reality of what happened in the situation. When it comes to the relationship, if you're solely focused on just the other person's blame, then you're not actually learning the lessons that that person came into your life to teach you. And as hard as it may be to talk about karmic relationships and how this thing that you worked super hard towards, or you had children with this individual, is karmic, you know? It's like we all want the American dream. We all want to ride off into the sunset with our prince, princess, or you know, whoever. I know that there are other sexes, so please don't judge me. I'm just having a blank right now on that. But my point is, everybody wants to get married and have kids and stay with that person forever, but that's just not the reality of today's world. And coming to grips with that and understanding where each of the problems lied and why the relationship stayed like it did and why it didn't pan out in the end is important to look at. You cannot just suppress years of experience with somebody and children and expect to be able to suppress those things and to treat it like it's something in the past and like you never have to touch it again. Maybe this is something that you've learned from your own parents. You know, maybe your parents divorced and all the way up until the end, or all the way up until today, they're still pissed at each other. They still don't talk to each other. They still talk shit to you as the child in the middle, you know. It's very much that kind of energy, but I'm daring you to look at something in a different way. And for a lot of you Pisces, I know that this is difficult. You guys are an incredibly spiritual sign. You guys are basically signed up for spiritual boot camp without any directions or pamphlet or anything. So a lot of the things that are being reflected to you right now are things that have been reflected on you for years and years and years. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger when it comes to this not growing. There's a lot of anger that this tower moment happened. A lot of frustration, a lot of blockages, a lot of things that need to be looked at, especially if you're still angry. Because I'm telling you, if that's the case, you have to understand that it's not only you that pays the price for your anger. It's the people around you. It's the people that you love. It's the people that you care about the most that pay that price as well. And if you're the kind of person that has road rage, or, you know, you get pissed at the server or whatever, you know, those are the kind of things that you need to look at. People don't just get pissed at servers for no reason. People don't get impatient for mundane things like that because they're free, because they feel peaceful inside themselves. There's something in there that's ticking. There's something in there that their mind isn't letting them stop thinking about. And the more that you suppress it, the worse it's going to get, my friend. Especially with the anger. I know it can be frustrating, but anger is a secondary emotion. Anger is only meant to show you what's really going on. Okay. Any last messages for Pisces, Capricorn, Sag? What last messages do we have for Pisces, Capricorn, Sag? Last messages. Okay, so I'm getting the Ace of Swords reversed, Temperance reversed, and Queen of Wands reversed. Let's get clarity on the Ace of Swords. If you keep moving through this world in anger and keep going back to the old ways that you used to be, maybe even before this relationship happened, if you don't embrace what you're truly feeling in your heart and you're just trying to act cool, cold, and calculated, I'm telling you right now, you have to understand that when you cut out one emotion, when you cut out that vulnerability, when you cut out that sadness, that depression, those terrible thoughts that you have, you're not cutting them out forever. And you're also cutting out joy and happiness. When you cut off one feeling, you cut them all off. And then you're just chasing the dragon of this made up happiness that you're feeling like that you need to go to. Because I keep seeing chasing the dragon, like you're trying to feel some imaginary way or feel safe in some way, shape, or form. But the thing is that you need to feel safe within yourself. There's a need to take accountability for what happened, whatever happened in this relationship, whatever happened in that very thing that you're turning off and suppressing, the anger, the violence, the frustration, the panic, the anxiety, all of those things that you're turning off. It's like what Spirit is showing me is it's like a hose. And so I know it can be scary. I know it can be scary to unpack all of that, but it's necessary in order to find your passion again. So if you're looking for your passion, I know that finding closure in relationships doesn't seem like the answer, but that's not the straight way to go. It's not. The reason why you're feeling like you don't have any passion in your life is because of the fact that you are not opening yourself up with your heart. Whether that be with new relationships or old relationships, or maybe in the new relationships, you're judging them by what the past lens looks like. And if that is the case and you are hyper aware of that, don't be frustrated with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. It took you a long time and a lot of training to turn off those emotions. A lot of situations where maybe you were a kid and you felt like you were scared and it was dangerous for you to speak up. Or you felt like your emotions wouldn't be reciprocated. Or the love that you felt for that person would turn you off. And I'm so sorry that you grew up in an environment like that. I'm so sorry if you grew up in an environment where it wasn't safe to express your love. It wasn't safe to express who you were. But that doesn't mean that everyone in the world is like that. It doesn't mean that everyone is out to get you. And it doesn't mean that you're never going to find someone who has your best interest at heart. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you need your best interest at heart. And right now, I feel a lot of self-sabotaging going on. So there's that. Let's get into guidance cards. Pisces, Sag, Capricorn. What is Pisces, Sag, Capricorn need to know at this time? Pisces, Sag, Capricorn. Okay, Pisces, the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Cancer actually just got this one too. So you might be dealing with a Cancer. The initiation, 68. Pisces, some of the most sacred initiation chambers and temples look scary from the outside, but are breathtakingly beautiful on the inside. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrim is required to take to reach somewhere sacred, but only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you are right now. You are being tested, initiated because you are headed somewhere sacred. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth, of meaning. Initiations, like rites of passage, mark the shift from one age to the next and can take place because of emotional turmoil, great loss, grief, or devastation. But it is through the seeming hardship that our heart cracks open and our spirit is invested to step forward. We take the sacred voyage into more of who we are and who we came here to be. It can be painful and scary, but once we begin the journey, we can be more ourselves than ever. If you are in the middle of an initiation right now, you will get through it, and one day soon, you will bless the thing that broke you down and cracks you open, because the world needs you open. You are going somewhere sacred. It will be worth it, and you are closer than you think. Okay. Sag, yeah, no, wait, postpone. So, oh, damn it, it opened right up to the freaking page. All right. Sag, you are being called to either pause or say no. Saying yes to something that isn't in alignment with you will drain your energy and your time. Hold out for a congruent, aligned 100% yes. Often when we are looking for guidance to make a decision, it can be frustrating not to move into clear and considered action. However, timing is everything, and not receiving clear guidance is actually guidance in itself. We all go through times known as waiting periods. These times are crucial for our body to regenerate, the new path to formulate, and the universe to begin creating things on our behalf. You don't need to be plowing forward all the time to move forward. A potent, congruent yes when the time is right will put you ahead leaps and bounds. Don't force things now just because it seems like the only option. Take a breather and wait. The waiting is actually very productive, for when the time for movement comes, you will be ready to dive right in. Use this time to regenerate and ponder what you truly want. Consider the options. If the options aren't clear, don't fear, because this time is a gift. Use it to tend to your garden and take a rest, to take a moment from your busy life to clear the decks and prepare for the time in the future. For come spring, clarity will bloom, and you will have the reserves, space, and drive to say yes and move quickly. And Capricorn, transformation. Transformation. 106. Things are changing at a cellular, Capricorn, things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will soon be. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing your work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within your cells. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being, where trauma is not the driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed as you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment. They loosen their grip and fall away. You are being called to find new ways to self-soothe. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshun influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. And Oshun represents the tender love of the original mother. A rethreading is happening. Healing at the deepest of levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regime and getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support, as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. Okay, my loves, until next time, I hope this reading found you well. I love all of you. Bye.